Hi guys, you're welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, you're welcome. Please subscribe, like and share my video. And if you're a returning subscriber, thanks for stopping by. In today's video, I'll be teaching you how to make this stylish maxi flare gown with basket design at the back. I will also be showing you how you can achieve a full length with Ankara fabric without any thread. Please make sure you watch till the end because you have a whole lot to learn on this tutorial, and also subscribe to my channel if you find my video helpful. Okay, this is the beautiful Ankara fabric I'll be using for this tutorial. I have 4.5 years for the tutorial. I'll put my body measurement on the screen for better understanding. So I'll be cutting front and back separately because of the basket design on the back part. So to do that, I folded my fabric into 2 equal parts. In such a way, I will have 2 years 9 inches for the front and 2 years 9 inches for the back. So this is 45 inches by width. I'll slash it open. This is for the back and this is for the front. I'll be starting with the front part. So I will take one of the fabric I divided and I will open up my fabric this way. Just spread it out. This is the width of the Ankara. So I will fold it diagonally in form of a triangle. Arrange it very well in such a way that you have a straight line at the folded edge. I found out that the chalks I have here is not visible on my fabric because of the multiple colors and the design on the fabric. So I'll be marking on this paper so that you can see it clearly. Let's assume that this paper is 2 years 9 inches. I will fold it like a triangle the same way I folded my main fabric. This is how your fabric is supposed to be looking like when you are done folding it. After folding it, I will measure what I have here to make sure that it's up to half of my shoulder width. Please confirm it. After that, I will rule a straight line. On that line is where I will be placing my strap to strap measurement. So the next thing is to determine how low I want my up shoulder to be. For me, I will be removing 6 inches. That's how low I want the up shoulder to be. But because I'll be adding a band of 2 inches, I will make it 8 inches. I added half inch for joining, making it 8.5 inches. I placed 8.5 inches on the starting point line to determine the full length of the gown. I have 58 inches for the full length. I added 2 inches for folding allowance. And I will mark it round. Just hold your tape at the starting point and go around the hem. After that, you connect it. Connect it the way you see me doing. After that, I will confirm whether the both sides of the gown is equal. I have 55 on this side. I have 54.5 on this side. So I will make it equal so that when I'm folding the hem, I won't have any issue. If you don't do this, you'll find it difficult to fold the hem of the flare. That's all for that. So if you check the dress that I'm recreating, you observe that the chest line depth is very low. For that reason, I will place my 8.5 inches on the starting point line and I will come down by 13 inches. On that 13 inches is where I will be placing my round bust measurement. If from your shoulder to your bust point is 9 inches, please you come down by 11 inches. So for my strap to strap measurement, I will mark 7 inches on this line. How I got the 7 inches is that I minus 1 inch from half of my shoulder width. My shoulder width is 16 inches. So if I divide it by 2, I have 8 inches. So I minus 1 inch from that 8 inches to give me my strap to strap measurement. On this line, I will place quarter of my round bust measurement and I will add 1 inch for sewing allowance. I will curve my armhole this way. After that, I will rule it straight down. So the next thing now is to cut it out. After cutting it out, I will be joining a piece of fabric to complete the length of the gown. That's how you would do it on your fabric. So you grab your leftover fabric and match it together. Use your pin to secure it, but I'll be using tape for illustration. I'll also show you how I pin it. After that, you flip it to the other side so that you can trim off the excess. If you have any question, please do let me know on the comment section. This is what you have when you are done. I'll go ahead and cut it out on my fabric for you to see. This is what I have when I was done. I'll confirm my 7 inches for the strap to strap measurement. I came down by 13 inches for the chest line depth. Can you see how I pin the fabric together? Use your pin to secure it. You sew with ½ inch. I'll be sewing it later. To cut the lower part for the back, I will first of all fold my fabric the same way I folded the front part, and I make sure that what I have here is up to quarter of my round waistline. I rule a straight line to indicate it. So after that, I'll be deducting my ½ inch. That's the upper part to have basket design. So I place my tape on that line. I place 17 inches on that line, and I will get my full length. I'll mark it round the same way I did on the front part. After that, I will divide my round waist by 4. I have 10 inches, so I will add 1 inch for sewing allowance, and I will cut it out. There's nothing much on the lower part of the back. I'll go ahead and cut everything out. After cutting it out, I will also complete the length of the gown the same way I did on the front part. After that, I'll be cutting out the 2 inches band that I took off on the front part. I'll cut it off now. So you fold your leftover fabric this way, and you measure 2 inches. You add extra 1 inch for sewing allowance, making it 3 inches. It's 3 inches that I will cut out. So I'll measure my 7 inches for the strap to strap. I will cut it out. After that, the next thing I will do is that I will come down by ½ inch on this side to give it a little curve on the center front. This is totally optional. You can decide to leave it straight. Alright, can you see what I have here? So I will cut another one to make it 2. This is because I'll be using it to do turn up. When I'm sewing it, you understand better. So I will notch it now. I'll notch the 2 band, right? So the next thing now is to cut the upper part for the back. I've gone ahead to fold my paper into 2. Please note that you fold your paper into 2 before you cut. So I will take off 5 inches for my off shoulder, and I will mark the half length of 17 inches. I'll add ½ inch for sewing allowance. I will rule it out. After that, I will now determine how wide I want the back to be. How wide you want it to be is totally up to you. For me, I'll be marking 5.5 inches. You can equally minus 4 inches from the width of your shoulder to get it. So I will mark it here now. I'll add ½ inch for sewing allowance, and I will rule it straight down. Please don't forget that you put your fabric on fold before you start your markings. I'll place my 5 inches on the starting point to get 13 inches, the same way I did on the front part. After that, I will divide this line by 2 to get the midpoint. I'll come in by 0.75. I want it to have a little curve at the back. I'll curve it the way you see me doing. After curving it, I will mark quarter of my waist circumference on this line, and on the half length, I'll just mark 10 inches. I add ½ inch for sewing allowance. I'll connect it straight. After that, I will come down by 1.5 inches for the back neck depth. This is totally optional. You can leave it straight if you want. I just did what to suit my body. I will connect it this way. Can you see what I have here? So after that, now I will cut it out. After cutting it out, I will open it up so that we can work on our basket design. This side that I rule down, the basket design will not get up to their side, so I just rule a line to indicate it. So I will start from this angle to rule my straight line. I'll rule it straight this way. After that, I will measure 1.5 inches. I will measure 1.5 inches with a dotted line just to get a straight line to fill up the space I have here. Can you see what I'm doing? So after that, I will root the lines out now the way you see me doing. I'll also fill up this side too. After that, I'll also turn my ruler this way, also mark 1.5 inches. Please make sure that your lines are equal. So it's very necessary you measure with your tape. So I will be using this strap of fabric that I have here to create my loop. The width of this loop is 2 inches, and after sewing it, I will have half inch. It's half inch that I want for my basket design. I don't want the holes to be too much. That's the reason why I'm using half inch. This is half inch here. So I'll use my screwdriver now to turn it to the right side. Just push it the way you see me doing. I will bring it out now. Can you see I have half inch here? That's what you will do for all the strap that you cut out. I will make sure that the line that I stitch is at the middle, and I'll iron it flat. Iron it very well. This is the ones that I've done. You can do as many as you like. After ironing it flat, you'll be placing it on the lines that you mark. Just watch carefully what I'm doing. Can you see how I placed it? You make sure that the hole that you have here is half inch. That is the essence of marking 1.5 inch. After ironing all my strap, I will start arranging it on the lines. I'll carefully use my pin to secure it. That's how you place all your strap on the line one by one. After that, you will sew with half inch. Sew with a tiny stitch. I will continue pinning my straps on the line. After that, I'll go to my sewing machine and show you how I sew it. This is how I arrange it. I'll start stitching. Can you see what I'm doing? Please don't drag the paper so that it won't tear. Just gently sew it. After sewing it, you raise your footer up and turn it this way and continue your sewing. Just fix your eyes on the screen, you understand what I'm doing. Can you see how I am sewing it? I will place it very well on the line and I will continue with my stitching. After sewing it, this is what you will have. Can you see? I will place the remaining strap on the lines I have on this side. To create the basket design, just place it and use your pin to hold it and you sew. I'll do it offline and come back and show you. This is what I have when I was done sewing it. Can you see the basket effect? Remember I told you that I'll be cutting out these two sides. So the next thing is to cut it out. After cutting it out, I place it on my fabric and press it out. I also left half inch that I used to join it together. I will join it now and come back and show you the next thing to do. I'm done joining it. Can you see what I have? I will open the seam up and iron it very well. So I will bring the lower part for the back. Can you see I've joined this part together? I will open up the seam and iron it very well. After that, I'll go to my interlocking machine and weave it. After weaving it, I will now join it together with the upper part. Join with half inch. After joining the lower and the upper part together, this is what you will have. The next thing I will do now is to tear up the paper. Please don't tear up the edges of where you'll be doing your joining so that the basket design will stay in place and it will be easier for you to pipe the size. Sure you iron the waistline very well. So I will be piping the neckline now. I have a stripe of fabric that I cut out for the neckline. I measure the round neck to determine the length of the strap, and the width of the strap is 2 inches. Can you see what I have? For the shoulder strap, I will measure what I have on my back armhole. I will add the 5 inches I took off for the back of shoulder. I will also add the 6 inches I took off for the front of shoulder. If you want to extend the strap to the front armhole, you also add it to the length of the strap you have. The strap supposed to go around the front armhole, but I don't have enough fabric that I'll use to achieve that. I'll show you how you can sew it. I folded my strap into two. I iron it down. I also fold in ½ inch that I'll use to top stitch on it. I make use of 4.5 inches for this style. Please, if you are of the same body measurement with me, I will advise you buy 5 years to be on a safer side, so that you won't manage fabric like me. I'll go to my sewing machine now and sew the neckline. I will sew it from the wrong side this way. I'll sew it with ½ inch. I'll come back and show you. I've sewn it already. Can you see? Before I top stitch on it, I will tear off the paper on that side and I'll trim off the excess fabric. I'll turn it this way. I'll fold it with ½ inch and fold it again. I'll top stitch on it now. I'll come back and show you what I have. Can you see what I have after stop stitching on it? Very neat. After that, I'll be piping the armhole side. I will grab the strap that I cut out and I will place it right side of the strap facing the right side of the main fabric, and I will sew it round. I will sew with ½ inch. I'll come back and show you. Can you see the neat finishing I have? You can iron it very well. So for this side, I will trim off the excess sewing allowance. After that, I will tear off the paper around the armhole side before you stitch. To pipe the armhole now, I will fold it in to cover the sewing allowance. I will fold it the way you see me doing. Push the seam inside and top stitch on it. After that, you arrange this part. Make sure you arrange it very well and you top stitch on it. This is what I have when I was done. Can you see? I will now measure what I took off for my back of shoulder and my front of shoulder to show you what I have. This is the 5 inches I took off, and this is the 6 inches I took off for front of shoulder, and I have ½ inch for joining. So I will be covering it up with 2 inches strap of fabric. I'll place it this way. Can you see what I'm doing? I'll go to my sewing machine and sew it and come back and show you. Can you see what I have? I've sewn it. I folded ½ inch in. The next thing is to trim up the excess sewing allowance before you fold it. After that, I'll fold it this way. Just watch what I'm doing, you'll get it right. Fold it again. Make sure you push the seam in and you top stitch on it. Can you see? I'll go and sew it off camera and come back and show you the next thing to do. The next thing now is to work on the front part. For the armhole side, I'll be folding it in a little. Had it been I have enough fabric, I would have cut a longer stripe of fabric that would be enough to turn the armhole. So the first thing now is to sew the band with ½ inch. So if you have enough fabric, there's no need of tucking the strap inside the band. You just cut a long stripe that will cover the front armhole so that you pipe it with the strap. I will go and sew it with ½ inch. After sewing it, I'll show you the next thing to do. After attaching my band, the next thing I will do now is to bring the back part so that I can fix the strap on the front part. So I will place it this way. You leave 1 inch on the both sides that you used to pipe the armhole. That I did not add piping allowance when I was cutting it. The reason is that I don't want it to cover my armhole that much. So from the center front, I will measure 5 inches and I will place my strap on the 5 inches. I will do the same thing on the other side. After that, I will use my pin to secure it. That I'll go to my sewing machine and stitch it down. After stitching the strap down, I will now place this one and I will sew it with ½ inch to close it up. I folded ½ inch this side to hem it After that, I will turn it and give it a good ironing. After ironing it, I will turn it to the wrong side and I will use my hemming gum iron on the facing so that it can stick together. Just put your hemming gum inside, you iron it very well, push the seam inside and give it a good press. Can you see what I have? When you are making this kind of maxi gown, buy 5 yards of fabric so that you have enough fabric to work with. So after that, I'll be folding in the armhole for the front part, or you can pipe it if you have enough fabric. This is the only fabric I have left, so I will fold it in. I don't have enough fabric to pipe the two sides. After that, I will align the front and back together, the front and back armhole together. Can you see? Close the two sides with the 1 inch sewing allowance that I added. I will sew it off camera and come back and show you. Okay, I've sewn the both sides. Can you see what I have? Please, when you're sewing it, make sure you use your round waist measurement to close it only on this armhole side. After that, you continue sewing with 1 inch straight down.